Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about etiquette. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video on the German etiquette. Now we're going to turn the tables around and talk about Nigerian etiquette. What the culture and the traditions are in Nigeria that makes Nigeria so unique. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. So you're welcome to my program. So let's go. The first thing we'll be talking about is greetings. Nigeria is a very unique place. We respect our elders. We put our elders at the highest pedestal when it has to come to rankings. One of the unique things about our elders is greetings. If you live with an older person in the house, every time you walk by this person, even if it's 10 times a day, you have to greet the person 10 times a day. That is one unique thing about Nigeria. Even if you say good morning already and you see the person 2 minutes later, maybe you on the hallway, you pass the person, you have to say good morning again. It's a sign of respect. Sometimes we Nigerians, we overdo it, but that's just the way we are. You don't just stand up and say good morning to your father. You bow down a little bit or you kneel down to say good morning to your parents. That's the way we are brought up. That's just the way we are in Nigeria. And another thing is even after the meal, when you eat your breakfast, whatever the meal is, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, every time you finish, you have to greet your parents. You have to greet your elders. That's how we do our thing in Nigeria. We are always used to greeting. After breakfast, lunch, or dinner, every time we eat, we have to greet our parents. That's how we say, appreciate that we have food on the table, saying thank you. We just greet our parents. That's the way we are. I remember one thing about food is when we were growing up those days, there's something like it was like a superstition to say every child has to eat the meat in the food last. The meat has to be eaten last. That's the way we were brought up. Even up to today, sometimes I still do it too, and just to just to play tricks on my kids. I do the same thing to my children here in Germany. But that's the way we're brought up. We have to eat the meat. When we are eating, the meat has to be eaten last. It doesn't really big. It's not a big deal to most people though. But that's the way we were brought up. At least in my generation. Another thing about greeting in Nigeria is it is really discouraged to use the left hand to shake someone. When you are shaking someone, everyone expects you to use the right hand. Unless the only exception is when if everyone knows that you are left-handed, then they might tolerate you using your left hand, but no one really uses the left hand to shake someone. Everybody wants you to use the right hand. And when you are a child, even those days as a child, when they notice that you are left-handed, your parents will try to discourage you to use your right hand. Um, it is just a lot. I think it's a result of um, I think it's a result of it might be a result of superstition. People just believe that the right hand is the best way to greet someone. So, like I said, if you are left-handed, especially when you are very very little, your parents will try to discourage you from using your left hand. That's how we are in Nigeria. That's part of our etiquette. That thing about Nigeria is the marriage ceremony. In Nigeria, no matter how long your courtship lasts, no matter how long you are together, as long as you are not married, you are not recognized in the family. That's just the way it is. They might tolerate you that you are somebody's boyfriend or somebody's girlfriend, but as long as you are not married, you are not part of the family. And marriage ceremony in Nigeria usually is done in three phases. There is first the introduction, and then there is the traditional marriage, and then what people now do these days, they go to the court or they go to the church to get married. So there are three stages you have to go through to get married in Nigeria. The other thing is parties. When you're doing parties in Nigeria, there is what we call spraying. In the America, in the United States, they call it make it rain. Make it rain. In Nigeria, we call it spraying. This is when people dance and then people come over and just spray money on them. This is part of our culture. Some people might look at it negatively, but we don't. Part of the reason that they do it is some people like to show off. In Nigeria, we call it shakara. They like to show off that they have money, and to show that they appreciate the celebrant, they spray money on this person. Another thing to consider when you are making a party in Nigeria is the guest. You know, for example, I live in Germany, and in the Germans, they're used to having, like, if they are having a party, they invite 50 people. They expect 50 people, and the budget will be for 50 people. That means if they are cooking, or if they are buying refreshment or drinks, they make a provision for 50 people. In Nigeria, you cannot do that. You invite 50 Nigerians to a party, chances are 45 people will turn up, but they will bring 3 other friends with them. And then at the end, you have 120 people or 100 people instead of 50 people. So you cannot really budget. That's why when you are making a party in Nigeria, you can never really be sure how many people are coming. That thing is the weekend. The weekend is when most Nigerians come alive. From Monday to Fridays, they work, and on the weekend, they like to party. And most of the parties they do is mostly on Friday evening, or mostly on Saturdays. In Lagos, we used to call it Owambe. That's the day everything is set aside and just party. And when we party, Nigerians, we are loud. We make a lot of noise because the music is loud. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of talking, and a lot of food. That's one thing about Nigerian parties. There is food and food and food, and a lot of drinks too. And it's pretty loud. And the other thing we do is on Sundays. There are people that just have specific clothes. There are people that have specific clothes they wear on Sundays, either to church or to parties. That's just the way every Nigerians will tell you a party is not a party without jollof rice or without fried rice. It's the basic food that is always available in every Nigerian party. But jollof rice and fried rice must be part of the menu. If it is not, then it is not a Nigerian party. Nigeria is a very diverse country. And the population of Nigeria is about 200 million. 58% of these claim to be Christians, and 41 claims to be Muslims. And 1 or 2% say they practice African traditional religion, which I don't think is true, though. A lot of people practice African traditional religion, but they claim to be Christians, and they claim to be Muslims. But because the Western style has so much influenced us, a lot of people refuse to acknowledge publicly that they practice African traditional religion, which is a shame, though, because I know for a fact that more than half of these people that say they are Christians, they really do practice African traditional religion. But because it's the new style, and because it's the westernization of the Nigerian culture, almost everyone, especially people in the South, if you ask them what the religion is, they will say they are Christians, which is not really true. Most of them practice African traditional religion too, but they go to church on Sunday. So they mix both of them together. That is just the real fact about it. Another thing about the Nigerian is the time. In Nigeria, there's what every Nigerian knows. We call it African time. This is the time that it is not really specific. If you ask a Nigerian, if you have an appointment with a Nigerian, for example, he might tell you he will come tomorrow morning, or he might tell you he will come tomorrow afternoon. Sometimes it cannot be so specific. Here in Germany, you can tell someone you are coming at 11 o'clock, and it has to be 11 o'clock. A Nigerian might tell you that he is coming to see you at 11 o'clock, but he might not turn up until maybe like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Part of the reasons for this is indiscipline, and it is just part of the things that we are used to in Nigeria. And then you must not forget that in Nigeria, the traffic is a little bit chaotic. And for what I mean by that is, for example, in Germany here, if you are in a bus stop, the bus is supposed to come in at 11:04 in the morning. It will be there at 11:04. In Nigeria, it is really difficult for you to plan your movement. If you are taking a public transport, for example, you cannot be sure that the bus is going to be there at 11:04. The bus might come in at 11:30, might come in at 12 o'clock, and you have no choice than to be late for your appointment. In Nigeria, we call it, like I said, we call it African time. Don't forget that this is in Nigeria, and we have our own system of doing things. So if you are doing things in Nigeria, You have to be sure that if the Nigerian tell you he's going to be there at 11 o'clock, he might not be there at 11 o'clock. He might come in a little bit late. But the way I look at it is because these days, almost everyone has a mobile phone. If you are coming in late, you can just call the person and say, I will be 5, 10, 15, or 30 minutes late. There is nothing wrong with that. And it shows that you respect this person, because don't forget what they say, time is money. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I really do appreciate you being here. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like this video. And thank you very much for being here. Have a good day.